Hey there, welcome back to Liz and Sandra's Marketing Podcast. Today is our third and final episode, recording at Baldwin-Wallace University. We have another great conversation with one of the students from their content marketing class, and we hope you enjoy it.
Who's next? One more? Matt?
Yeah.
All right.
Come on down. All right, so introduce yourself, year, major, all that good stuff.
So my name is Matthew Harris. I'm a senior at Baldwin-Wallace, and I study marketing and film. I grew up in Akron, and yeah.
Awesome.
There's a film department here?
Yeah, it's I ended up actually having to drop to a minor because I wasn't going to graduate on time. But I still like to say I'm a major at heart just because I have so many credits in the program. And so there's only about 50 kids. I don't know how that compares to the marketing program here. There's probably, 75? But I would say the business school has a lot more resources to pull from in terms of connections and whatnot than the film. So I thought that it would be better for me to stay with the marketing major. I can get a little bit more value out of those classes than the film ones because film's very hands-on. So you learn a lot as you go, and it just seemed like they had a lot more real-world applications within the marketing program that I could use and not as much from the film.
Makes sense.
Who's your client?
So pretty much it's a cluster of car dealerships.
Marketing the app or building the app?
So yeah, me and Bree or Bree and I are on the content team, and like we're building the app as well, but that's through the computer science program here. Well, we don't know if it's an app or a website yet. We're still kind of figuring that out still. So we've teamed up with a group from the graphic design, and then a group from the computer science, and then two of us for the marketing, and then we have two other teammates, Sarah, and who's our last one?
Hello.
Oh, Jordan. My bad, Jordan. But my question for you guys is, so when I graduate, I'm looking to just continue running my own video productions company. And when I think about my marketing strategy and some of the things I want to do with it, one area that I kind of struggle with is finding a specific target market. So for me, I've done a lot of projects for various people, a lot of word of mouth referrals. So there hasn't been like one specific group that I've really been able to pinpoint. So when I think of like, all right, if I'm going to write content, who am I writing the content to? And I just don't know who to write that to. And that's one of the things I struggle with. So I would at least ask for you guys if you had any advice on that.
Yes, I have lots of thoughts on this because I'm, to borrow from HubSpot and the buyer persona terminology, I'm a huge fan of this. And I will say, honestly, for the first couple years, you will probably bumble around, and it's hard. It's really hard. For me personally, I have been very disciplined, and whenever something pops into my head, I jot it down, and I go back and update for Hirsch PR, the buyer persona. At this point, I really only have one, and it's pretty lengthy. It's probably a good 7 pages at this point, but even 3 years ago, it was not as robust, and I was, oh my gosh, who am I targeting? Like, I just didn't know. And I think as you grow as a business and you mature as a business owner, and you figure out who you like to work with, that'll come about naturally. So when I'm working with clients and they're either a brand new client or they've never gone through this exercise before, yes, it's okay, let's brainstorm and let's put something on paper, even if it's just to start, and I tell them what I just told you. My buyer persona is 7 pages long now. It was not when I first started. It was probably half a page. But it's evolved, it's grown. I've really honed in on who I want to work with, and I try to speak to them as much as possible. That all trickles down into the marketing messages on your website and on social media, drives the content. But it's not easy at first, and you'll probably flounder a little bit and get frustrated, but just make those mental notes, and over time you will grow your buyer persona.
Do you do weddings? I feel like the wedding market is like a huge...
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to doing weddings. I've done 2 so far, and I might be doing like a bridal or a baby shower wedding party this weekend, so I'm waiting for the woman's a little slow on getting back to me. I sent her the proposal email. I talked to her on the phone, sent her the proposal, and then she threw it in her spam and was like, I didn't get it. So things are going a little slow on her end, but let's hope that that happens. But yeah, so weddings are definitely, I don't want to just be stuck in weddings, and I like more business to business and documentary style stuff is definitely what I prefer, but weddings are definitely a good cash generator, and I don't mind doing them. So, a couple of those a year, once a month, that would be great.
There's a lot of work to edit, right? That's mainly the big
Yeah.
work editing, yeah.
But I mean, once you kind of get the hang of it, like you can almost have like kind of like a set template that you can use to knock out the wedding and stuff, and your workflow process gets a lot easier as you learn.
Definitely. Yeah, you'll probably figure out, okay, wedding season is coming, or that brides are booking 2 years in advance at this point, so like when you're going to need to advertise on Facebook or Instagram and what that message looks like, and you could have a lot of that on autopilot.
Yeah,
so,
I was really excited because after I filmed the wedding, I had a couple shots of me like shooting the wedding, and then I just threw together this like 10-15 second video, and I boosted it on Facebook for, I think I did $7, so $1 a day, and I got a message saying somebody was interested and wanted to see some of my work. So I was like so thrilled. I was like jumping up and down. I was like, first content marketing lead ever. So it was really exciting.
that is good. So, and I'm all about the numbers and the data.
Yeah.
So you spent $7 to get a lead.
Yeah.
And you'll have to see if it actually pans out into a paying client. And then my mind immediately goes to, okay, so what is your cost to acquire a client? Like if you could acquire a client for $7, like, that's
I'd be
amazing.
so happy. I would be loving life.
Good stuff.
My marketing return on investment would just be the best.
That'd be great.
What do you guys typically want on a return on investment for a marketing plan? Say if you want to spend X amount of dollars, how much do you guys typically want in return? Or your clients?
Some of them want a lifetime value. They take the lifetime value of a client, like they know a client will come to them for 10 years for oil changes, let's say. So they'll measure it based on things like that. So it really depends on what the client wants, but do you have an answer to that?
Not a good one, honestly. I mean, I'm all about the numbers, the data. We pull reports for clients. To be quite honest, I have clients who have said, stop sending me these. I don't look at them, which kind of blows me away sometimes.
Yeah.
I have other clients who are very data driven, and I appreciate that. So going back to buyer personas, actually, one of the things that I really look for is clients who, because what we do is it's big picture, it's long term. If someone is like, I need an ROI on my marketing in a month, well, that's just we're looking at the big picture. I have clients who years ago were like, yep, let's do the Twitter thing, or let's do the Instagram thing, and it was I don't want to say a leap of faith, but they knew that that's where the market was headed, and they knew that we weren't going to be seeing tons of revenue for it, but now we're starting to see the traction, we're starting to see the results from it, and it's Sandro is. Well, it's been a while, but we've mentioned it. I don't know if we've done a whole episode on it, but it's really hard to track the value of social, directly back to sales. Like there are tools that are great that help with that, but it's never 100%. So I guess let me sum up by saying this. We set goals, we keep an eye on them. As long as we're inching towards them, my clients tend to be pretty happy. So, yeah.
And I would urge you each to ask your clients, what is my goal? What is the goal of your marketing agency? Every client has a different answer. I have a client that's a church and a school, and I'm like, is the goal to get more seats, people in the seats on Sunday Mass? Is it to get more students to the Catholic church, to the Catholic school? And they haven't given me an answer yet to this day. You want to know, is it to sell more tickets? I have a bone broth client that sells bone broth. Their goal is just awareness, not sales. Like my job isn't to sell more, it's just awareness.
I had a client hire me because something like, I want to take one more day off a week and I want you to do the marketing. Like he's like, I don't want to do it anymore, I want you to do it. I was like, okay. So that's what we do for him. And his business continues to grow. He's happy. He's the one that asked me not to send reports to him anymore, because he wasn't looking at the sales like number by number, ROI percentages or anything. Like he was like, I just, I don't want to do it. I want one day off. I want you to do it. So yeah, that's a good point. What does the client want? Because every client's going to be different. So, cool.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, run it.
All right.
Yeah.